Let me ask you something. What if I told you that the exact same strategy I used to generate over 100 million organic impressions, sell nearly 20,000 digital products, and build $1 million plus content business from scratch is now faster, cheaper, and more accessible than ever because of AI? I'm Nick Garcia. I've been making a living online through blogging and digital products, affiliate marketing for more than a decade. I've grown a YouTube channel to over 18,000 subscribers, built an audience of over 120,000 followers across different platforms, built an email list of 50,000 subscribers, and now generate an average of $600 a day in display ad revenue, made over $200,000 in affiliate commissions, all through organic content. No paid ads, no viral luck, no overnight success story. I'm telling you all of this not to brag, but because I want you to understand something important before I dive in here. I have made every single mistake you're about to make, still making them. I wasted years figuring out what actually works on Pinterest, on blogs, and now I'm going all in on YouTube, making some mistakes. I've launched products that flop. I wrote content nobody read. I've chased strategies that went nowhere. And I did all that without AI. Today, you get to skip most of that because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a $1,000 per day content creation business using AI. Covering blogging, YouTube, Pinterest, selling digital products, freelancing. This isn't theory, this isn't hype, not gatekeeping, the actual framework I would use if I was starting from zero today. Before we get into the tactics, I need to address something head on because there is a massive misconception spreading right now about AI and online business. Y'all, AI is not a magic button. It is not going to build your business while you sleep. It is not going to replace the need for real skill, real judgment, and real persistence in adversity. Here is the truth. You build a content business in 2026 the exact same way you would have built one in 2016. You generate traffic, you write content, you build trust with an audience, you create a product or service, you put that offer in front of people and see if they buy. Then you iterate until something works, and then you double down. That stuff hasn't changed. What has changed is how fast you can do all those things and how much trial and error you can skip. When I started out, it took years to figure out what kind of blog posts ranked on Google. It took me years to understand what Pinterest pins drive traffic versus which ones get ignored. It took me years to learn how to write a sales page that actually converts. You now have the ability to compress a significant chunk of that learning curve using AI if you use it correctly. The key phrase there is if you use it correctly, because I see a lot of people misusing AI right now and it's costing them time, money, and momentum. Here's what the wrong approach looks like. Somebody discovers AI agents specifically. They get super excited. So they set up automated workflows to publish 50 blog posts a week, pin 200 images a day on Pinterest, and post on every social media platform simultaneously. 3 months later, they have, you guessed it, zero traffic, zero sales, and zero idea why it's not working. I have seen this play out over and over again, and the reason it fails is simple. They do not understand what quality looks like. They've never written a blog post that ranked, that made sales. They have never created a Pinterest pin that went viral. They have never built an email list. They've never written a landing page. So when AI produces mediocre output, and it often does, they have no way to recognize it, fix it, or improve it. Think about it this way. If you've never cooked a meal in your life, you cannot walk into a restaurant kitchen, hand a robot a recipe book, and expect a Michelin star dinner. You need to understand the craft first. Then the tools amplify your skill. That is exactly how I'm approaching AI in my businesses. I use it to move faster on things I already understand. I use it to generate first drafts of blog posts, then I refine it with my own voice and experience. I use it to brainstorm Pinterest pin concepts, infographics that I then evaluate based on I know what works. I use it to outline YouTube scripts, and then I fill it in with real stories just like this and real data from my own journey. The people who win with AI in 2026 are the ones who already have and are actively building the underlying skill. The people who lose are the ones who outsource their thinking entirely. Let's make that goal of $1,000 a day concrete, because I think a lot of people will hear that number and immediately assume it is out of reach. It's not out of reach. Let me show you the math. So $1,000 a day is $365,000 a year. That sounds like a lot, but let's break it down into what it actually requires. If you sell a $50 digital product, an ebook, a template pack, a mini course, you need about 20 sales a day. If you sell a $100 course, you need 10 sales a day. If you sell a $500 coaching package, you need 2 clients a day. And here's where it gets really interesting. If you combine revenue streams, which is exactly what I do and recommend, the math gets a lot more forgiving. So here's how my own revenue breaks down across multiple streams. I generate most of my income from digital display ads, then some digital product sales, affiliate marketing commissions, freelance content strategy. No single stream has to carry the full load. Each one contributes to a piece of that $1,000 a day goal. And together they create a business that is resilient and compounding. If you're a beginner, I want to be straight up with you. Do not start by trying to build a passive income empire. Start by offering a service, freelancing, consulting, done for you content creation. It's far easier to land one client who pays you $1,000 than it is to sell $20, $50 products to strangers. Client work builds your skills, builds your credibility, and most important, it builds your cash flow while you're growing your audience in the background. Then once you have that foundation, once you have proven that you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, then you can transition to info products, communities, that type of stuff. You take the knowledge you have been applying for clients and you package it into something that sells while you sleep. Just like what I'm doing right now. So I have a nearly $1,000 a day through my display ads, affiliate marketing, and freelance content strategy. So I can focus on learning this new skill on YouTube. I'm launching 2 school communities. I'm launching 2 new websites this next month in April, and I'm going to be documenting my entire process so you can see, especially if you're a beginner, behind the scenes, so you know what it takes to build a blog and build a Pinterest account specifically from scratch, and school communities. So make sure to subscribe so you can check that out. In the age now where AI can generate unlimited content at the push of a button, the single most valuable thing you can build is trust. And trust lives in your personal brand. Your personal brand is not your logo, it is not your color palette, it is not your Instagram aesthetic. Your personal brand is the answer to this question. Why should someone trust you specifically over every other person talking about this topic? For me, with this channel, the answer is simple. I've been doing this for over a decade. I have the receipts, 100 million plus organic, million impressions, 20,000 products sold, 1 million in organic revenue. When I tell you something works on Pinterest, I'm not guessing. I've tested it, failed at it, refined it, and scaled it. That is what makes my content worth reading and my products worth buying. You need to build your own version of that. And the way you do that is by being genuinely useful consistently over time. You pick a niche, a specific topic you know well and are actively learning, and you create content that helps people solve real problems in that space. You do not try to be everything to everyone. You become the most trusted voice for a specific type of person with a specific type of problem. So here's the framework that I recommend. First, identify the one skill or area of knowledge you plan to monetize. That becomes your primary content pillar. Second, identify 2 or 3 complementary interests that you cannot stop talking about. Those become your secondary pillars. Third, this is where most beginners fail to get it wrong. Ground every piece of content in a pain point. Do not just share an interesting idea. Show your audience why that idea matters to their life, to their goals, or their struggles. That's the difference between content that gets scrolled past and ignored and content that gets saved, shared, and acted on. Now let's get into the actual content strategy, because this is where AI becomes a genuine game changer. If you know how to use it, that is the key right there. I want to introduce you to the concept of a content ecosystem. The idea is simple. You do not create content for one platform in isolation. You create one core piece of content and then use AI to multiply it across multiple platforms simultaneously. So here's exactly how to do it, how I do it. Step 1 is the blog post. This is the foundation of my entire content strategy. A well-researched SEO optimized blog post is an asset that can drive traffic for years. So I start by identifying a topic that has real search demand, something people are actively Googling, and I write a comprehensive post that genuinely answers the question better than anything else on the first page of Google or in Pinterest. I use AI to help me research a topic, identify gaps in existing content, generate an outline, and write a first draft. But I always go back through and add my own voice, my own experience, and my own data. That is what separates a post that ranks from a post that gets ignored. Step 2 is Pinterest. Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's a visual search engine with over 500 million monthly active users, and it is one of the most underutilized traffic sources for bloggers and content creators. For every blog post I publish, I create between 5 and 10 Pinterest pins using AI-assisted design tools. Each pin has a compelling headline, a clear visual, and a link back to the blog post. The goal is to get those pins in front of people who are actively searching for that topic that I'm writing about. Pinterest traffic is evergreen. A pin I created 10 years ago still drives traffic to my blog today. Step 3, YouTube. I take the same topic I write about on the blog and I turn it into a YouTube video. The blog post already gives me the structure and the key points. I use AI to help me adapt the written content into a conversational video script, identify the strongest hook for the opening, and eventually I'll create some B-roll and some on-screen graphics. Right now, I don't consider myself an expert on YouTube at all. I'm trying new things, testing different video styles across multiple niches, and I'll share what I learned here on this channel. The video then links back to the blog post in the description, and the blog post embeds the YouTube video. Everything feeds on each other. And then we have the email list. Every piece of content I create is an opportunity to grow my email list and to deepen my relationship with my audience. So I use lead magnets, free resources, checklists, templates, mini guides to convert blog readers into YouTube viewers, into email subscribers. Once somebody is in my list, I reach them directly, promote my products, build the kind of trust that turns a casual reader into a loyal subscriber. My list of over 50,000 subscribers is without question one of the most valuable business assets. Guys, algorithms change, platforms come and go, but your email list is actually yours. So let me be specific about how AI actually fits into this workflow, because I think there's a lot of vague advice out there, and I want to give you something actually concrete. So the way I use AI is as a research assistant, a first draft generator, and a thinking partner, not as a replacement for my own voice, my judgment, or my expertise. So when I am starting a new blog post, I will ask AI to pull together the key questions about people are actually asking about a topic, summarize what the top ranking articles are covering, and then identify angles that are underrepresented. That research used to take me hours, days, now it takes minutes. But I still read through everything, evaluate it through my own eyes, my own experience, and then decide what angle I want to take. So when I'm writing, I will use AI to generate a rough first draft based on my outline. That draft is almost never good enough to publish as is, but it gives me a really great starting point that I can edit and refine and inject it with my own voice and real world examples. Writing from a draft is dramatically faster than writing from a blank page. Same for Pinterest pins. I'll use AI to generate 5 or 10 headline variations for each post, and then I'll pick the ones that feel the most compelling and then test them. I use AI image tools to generate pin backgrounds and layouts, and then I customize them with my own branding changes as I need to. For YouTube videos, I'll feed my blog posts into AI and ask it to restructure the content for spoken format, suggest a strong hook for the first 30 seconds, and identify the 3 or 4 moments in the video where I should add some type of call to action. Then I rewrite the script in my own voice. The through line of all this is that I'm always the one making the final call. AI generates the options, I just choose and refine. That is the right relationship to have with all these AI tools. Now let's talk about how you actually make money from all of this content, because traffic without monetization is just a hobby. The most scalable revenue stream for a content creator is digital products. I've sold over 20,000 digital products in my career, courses, ebooks, guides, recipe books, and the beauty of digital products is that your cost of goods is essentially zero. Once you create the product, every sale is almost pure profit. So here's a framework I use to create a digital product that actually sells. First, I build a detailed customer avatar. I want to know exactly who I'm creating this product for. What's their biggest frustration? What have they already tried that hasn't worked? What does success look like for them? What are they willing to pay to get there? AI is incredibly useful here. So I can describe my audience to it, and I can ask it to help me build out a detailed profile, including the specific language my audience uses to describe their problems. That language then shows up in my marketing copy. Second, you got to create an offer that is genuinely irresistible, not just a product, but some type of transformation. I'm not selling a course about Pinterest marketing. I'm selling the ability to drive 100,000 monthly visitors to your blog using Pinterest without spending a dollar in ads. The product is the vehicle, the transformation is the offer. AI can help you workshop your offer positioning, but you got to bring the real world knowledge of what your audience actually wants. Third, I write a landing page that converts. Most people create a pretty decent product that can, help people, and then write a boring landing page that just describe what the product is. That's a huge mistake. Your landing page needs to speak directly to your customer avatar's pain points. Paint a vivid picture of what their life looks like after they buy, and make the purchase feel like the next obvious step. I use AI to generate a first draft of my landing page copy, and then I refine it heavily based on what I know about my audience. Let's talk about freelancing for a moment, because I think it is one of the most underrated paths for someone who's just getting started. When you're new, you obviously don't have a new audience, you might be overwhelmed, you don't have a track record, you do not have any social proof, and that makes it really hard to sell products to strangers. But you have the skills, or you can develop them quickly. And there are businesses out there right now who will pay you to apply those skills. Content creation skills are in extremely high demand. Businesses need blog posts, they need Pinterest strategies, they need YouTube scripts, they need email newsletters, SEO audits. If you can do any one of these things well, you can find clients. Here's the play. You use AI to help you deliver better work faster. You use it to research topics, generate drafts, optimize content. You charge clients for the results, not the hours. And while you're doing this client work, you're building your own content platform on the side. Your blog, your YouTube channel, your Pinterest account, your email list. Over time, that platform starts to generate its own income, and then you can gradually reduce your reliance on client work as your passive revenue grows. That is exactly the kind of transition I'm talking about when I say you build toward products. You start with services that generate cash flow and build credibility. You use that credibility to grow your audience. You use that audience to sell products. Each stage funds the next. I want to be honest with you about something before I wrap up this video, because I think you deserve the truth more than you deserve hype, and hype is everywhere. Guys, this is not going to happen overnight. It took me a decade to build what I've built. Now with AI, I genuinely believe you can compress that timeline significantly, but you're not going to hit $1,000 a day in your first month. You're probably not going to hit it in your first 6 months. Some people will, but most won't, and that's okay. What matters is that you start and that you keep going. Most people fail not because the strategy doesn't work, it's because they quit too early. They publish 5 blog posts and wonder why they didn't get any traffic. They create a product and wonder why nobody's bought it. They try Pinterest for a couple weeks, couple months, and give up because they didn't go viral. Building a content business is a compounding game, long play. The first year is the toughest. The second year is when things start to click. And the third year is when momentum becomes undeniable. I've watched this play out in my own businesses and in the businesses of people that I've worked with. The ones who make it are not the ones who are always the most talented. They're the ones who are the most persistent. Use AI to move faster, use it to learn quicker, use it to help prevent mistakes, reduce trial and error, but do not use it as a substitute for the work itself. You still have to show up, create, iterate, and improve. No tool in the world can do that for you. All right, here's exactly what I want you to do after watching this video. First, pick your niche. If you do not know what to write about, what to write content about, think about what you know well, or what you're learning, or what problem you've already solved for yourself. That is a great starting point. Start your blog. Choose a platform, pick a domain, and write your first few posts. Use AI to help you research topics, generate outlines, but write the posts in your own voice. Don't try to be perfect, just start. Then set up your Pinterest account. You got to create a business account, optimize your profile, and start pinning your blog posts. Aim for consistency over volume. 5 quality pins a week beats 50 mediocre ones. By the way, I'm showing you how to do both of these two from scratch starting next month. Complete tutorial in April, so subscribe now. So then start your email list from day one. Pick a lead magnet on your blog, a free checklist, a template, a short guide, and start collecting those subscribers. Even if you only have 10 people on your list, treat them like gold. Then create your first digital product. It doesn't have to be a full course. Start with something simple, an ebook, template, resource guide, and put it up for sale. The goal is to learn the process of creating and selling not to make $1 million on your first product. So if you want to shortcut the learning curve even further, subscribe to my channel. I have a couple of courses almost ready around blogging and Pinterest marketing, and I'm probably going to be launching a school community soon too, but just start with subscribing to my channel, and then we can take it from there. All right, y'all, that's the framework right there. Blogging, Pinterest, YouTube, digital products, freelancing, and email. All powered by AI, all built on the foundation of real skill and real consistency. If this video is helpful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and drop a comment below letting me know which part of this you're going to start with. I read every single comment and I will reply. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.